Because of what our conception of sexuality has come to in Western society, and specifically in the United States, victim blaming has become a very serious and real issue for our culture. That's why having resources like Respect on Campus here at UCCS and events like Take Back the Night are so important, and we thank you all for being here to support us tonight.
Whenever we talk about things like victim blaming, I think that it's important to remember that that can involve violent crimes rather than just like crimes or sexual assault, right? Like crimes in a sexual manner. I think what we see in the LGBT community in terms of victim blaming is actually against transgender women. So these are women who are perpetrated against just solely for the fact that they are transgender. In the United States alone, I think there's already been either 7 or 8 hate crimes against transgender women just this year. And so I think that that is something that needs to be more brought into focus and awareness when we talk about victim blaming. We should not ever assume that somebody was perpetrated against because of their identity, who they are in terms of their gender, their sexual orientation, or anything. Really, it's just about the fact that these people are being perpetrated against, not giving that an excuse is something that we need to remember.
I think victim blaming is very common but very unfortunate, because no matter what the victim is portraying or doing, there's no excuse for violent behaviors such as rape. And I feel like there are certain examples, such as when a girl wears a short skirt, that is used as an excuse by perpetrators a lot. Or when someone is very intoxicated, they may have not been able to say no, or whatever the case is, and that's used against them. And I feel like that's wrong, but it happens a lot in our society.
Well, I believe victim blaming is not just a guy or girl thing. I believe it happens to each gender equally. And it's kind of sad because I don't think it gets talked about a lot. People believe, as far as I know with victim blaming, that the victim's at fault. And maybe the victim was drinking alcohol or something like that, or simply wearing something too short and everything. And these are just bad excuses that say to, our nation that, it was what they were wearing. It was because of what they were wearing and everything that, they were raped or something like that. And that's just not okay. That's not what we should be teaching, our future generations and everything, or each other right now, that it's okay. And we should talk about it openly.
So, I think victim blaming is used as a way to downplay the impact of sexual violence against women. I think we see this when victims come forward and people say, oh, well, she did want it, but she changed her mind in the morning.
So I think that victim blaming is everywhere, and victim blaming is really, really detrimental to a victim's recovery process, because the best indicator of a victim's recovery is the response that they get from the first person that they tell. And so, if they finally build up the courage to go and tell someone about their assault, and that person says that it was because of what they were wearing or what they were drinking, that person is going to be much, much less likely to go and seek other help or services, which can really be really detrimental to their entire recovery process. And so it is really crucial that we end victim blaming, because if we want to help victims through what they're going through, the best thing that we can do for them is make sure that they have a good recovery process, and that starts with eliminating victim blaming.
The strength I need to push me. You show the lights that stop me, turn to stone. You shine.